you're bare knuckles, but you cannot fool me. Like you really played him well. Right? I think I should start playing.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Wallace?
Yes, hello. This is Warwick Wallace, International Law Firm. How can I help you?
We need to speak to Mr. Wallace, please.
Need to speak to Mr. Wallace. Let me transfer the call. One moment, please.
This is secretary.
Yeah.
Hello there, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. How are you?
Good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. You called and left a message. You said it was really important. I thought we had an
Yes, it is
appointment
very
this evening.
it is very important. But you know what? I'm currently right now on a three-way call with Consumer Affairs and Gaming Control Board. Okay, would you folks give me about 15 minutes? Would that be a problem? So I can call you folks back because I'm gathering information from each one of these entities right now.
Well, why don't we call you back in about a half an hour? We just got back. We're gonna have some lunch before we have to go back out work this afternoon. We can call you back in a half hour before we leave.
Okay, that would be perfect. I'm gonna finish my conversation with them, and I'll wait for your phone call in 30 minutes. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Bye.
Mr. and Mrs. Walker.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Let me just open up the file here real quick. We'll put you on hold briefly. One moment. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, we're gonna initiate this step by step. Okay.
Okay.
Um, this is what I received the file. Gaming Control Board was able to go through the files of the actual pending payouts and which company this payout was coming from. I have a report here from a company by the name of American Direct Incorporated. They're located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, on December 2023, American Direct Incorporated database was hacked. Okay, their information was
Mm.
hacked, and all the information from the actual winners was forwarded or sold out to telemarketers outside of the United States, which is we basically believe that these are the Jamaicans who contacted you. Now, there's more information I need to provide you folks, but like we explained to you yesterday, we have a statement of confidentiality. I have a non-disclosure agreement that I'm going to have to send to you folks. Okay, I'm going to email this out to you maybe in the next few hours. I'm still, filling in some documentation. Before we go any further on having any more conversations, remember, we have to keep confidentiality on our behalf. Victor Dispenza from Consumer Affairs, they have to keep confidentiality from their behalf, and as well as you folks. I'm going to forward the document to Mr. Victor Dispenza from Consumer Affairs. I've already signed the document. I need him to sign that document also. I need
Yeah.
him to forward that document back to me, and I need to forward that document to you folks so you folks can sign it before we go ahead and continue with any more conversations about this particular subject. The investigation is very delicate. Okay, it is very delicate. Department of Consumer Affairs, in conjunction with Interpol, we need to gather an exact report about the $380,000. I did receive a report from that. They stated, okay, that is a loss. I did a $400,000 loss report. Okay, and they're asking me, all right, but the information that you send from the accounts does not report any of these transactions. So I'm going to need you guys to at least remember, if you guys don't have any information or anything there that represents these transactions, I'm going to need exact information. I believe that you should have records on your accounts, Mr. Walker,
Well,
when these transactions.
I got pictures of the boxes with the cash in them, and I've got pictures of some of the cashier's checks that were sent out. Would that help?
That would be very helpful. That would be very helpful because we need I mean, in order for us to follow through a complaint report, we need to know at least some information, some evidence that proves that you folks did send out these transactions. So
Right.
this is going to be very helpful.
The only problem with the money in the picture of the money in the boot is you can't count that. You just, it's just, a picture of money in a boot.
Mrs.
Well,
Walker, counting the money, like, I mean, having an exact count just in a picture, obviously, is something we will not be able to do. All I need here is evidence, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, because without evidence, I'm not able to move forward. Okay? Now, uh,
Mhm.
another thing that's going on regarding there was a pending payout award. This happened in December 18, 2023. Johnny Lee and Lucille Walker, you folks were selected as a pending as a payout in December 18, 2023. It's a matter of fact, they're going to send me all the documentation. They're going to send me the copy of the check. They're going to send me the copy of the certificate. They're going to send me the copy of the letter that was stolen that was sent to your address. They're going to send me everything. I'm going to have all this information sent out to me later on this afternoon, and I will be able to forward this information to you. Now,
yeah,
here's the
that would be
problem.
nice.
I do not know. I do not know if we will be able to recover this award. Why? According to the information I got, because I already spoke to this company, American Direct Incorporated. American
You
Direct
said they're in
Incorporated.
North Carolina. We're in Texas. We're not in North Carolina.
Oh yeah, but that's not a problem, ma'am. I mean, American Direct Incorporated is a major sweepstakes company that accepts solicitations from people all over the United States,
I'm
just
not
like the
gonna turn
Publishers
down their
Clearinghouse.
money. I don't care where they're from. If they're gonna give us some money, I'm okay with it.
But I mean, what I want to say is the following, Mrs. Walker. I don't want to bring false illusions because I do not have a confirmation. What is my job? What am I doing here? I'm digging in to get the exact information to identify what happened. Now, since it's been 90 days. They're going to send me a copy of the check. This check has already expired. Okay, so what happens with the award? The award right now, it's in their disqualification department. The disqualification procedure takes time, and it's almost in a finalization process, which is one of the main reasons they're explaining to me. We don't know if there will be a possibility to even recover these funds because it's been already too long. Okay, so
Oh, so we're
uh,
not gonna
now
get the prize? Is that what you're saying?
that's something
Probably
I'm
not,
not.
Johnny. Probably
That's
not.
some
We had these monsters tell us we were going to get a prize
that
for
that that
months, and we
that.
never did.
Can I
So,
talk?
Yeah,
Can I
help
talk?
yourself.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. One thing I don't want to do here is bring false illusions. Okay, now there, like I said yesterday, I'm going step by step. I'm digging into the information. I send a report to Gaming Control Board. Gaming Control Board went through the records. They initiated with May. I mean, they initiated with April, March 2024, February 2024, January 2024. They got to December. In December, they did find out a pending payout under the name of Johnny Lee Walker and Lucille Walker. Okay? Now, what happens with that? When the information was being sent out to you folks, that information was stolen, and the information, the database from American Direct Incorporated, was hacked. So every time they try to reach you, every time they try to send you a letter to notify you about their system, the Jamaicans, they hacked into these letters. So they're the ones who received them. That's why you folks were contacted by them. Now, like I said, I'm not here to tell you false information. I cannot for example, I cannot tell you right now, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, you folks are going to receive this money because I do not know that. This is what they told me. They told me that they're going to forward all the information to me. Okay, so everything can be reviewed, and they're currently discussing in their department if there's anything that they can possibly do for you folks to be able to recover this money. But the person who I spoke to the vice president of the company. Her name is Bree Smith. Mrs. Bree Smith, she said she's not able to promise me anything. She said they're gonna have a board meeting today with everyone from the that American Direct Incorporated. They're going to have a board meeting and they're going to be discussing about that, and they will be having an answer for me tomorrow.
Did
But
you
like I
say
said,
Bree?
Bree Smith, that is correct. Bree Smith,
B R E E
Brie,
I E.
Brie,
Right.
correct.
Okay.
geez.
Well, we're not
Okay.
holding our breaths, Mr. Wallace. You do what you got to do and just do your job, and we'll let you
Yeah.
take care of that. So just keep us updated and
I
whatnot.
sure will. I sure will. Now, the most important thing we need to get also is the investigation part. I need proof from the transactions. Now, did any of these transactions were taken care of by Mikey, or were all the transactions taken care of from you folks?
Mikey's was a completely different. He was being scammed separately from us. That's a whole different case than Mikey. What Mikey
Okay.
done.
Yeah, because he's an
Okay.
adult. He's a legal adult,
I
technically.
He's
He
mean,
is.
I mean, Lucille was able to prevent him from losing a lot of money from what he was trying to do, but most of that was them telling him that he had won a lottery as well. They were working the whole family over,
okay.
telling
Well,
me one
this
thing,
is
telling Lucille one thing, Mikey was being told another. We couldn't keep up with all of it.
I understand, but this is something that now that we have brought this to Consumer Affairs, they're very interested in getting that side of the story as well because we don't know how connected these scams are. Even though
Right.
they were telling you folks different stories, we want to get to the bottom of things here, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. We want to
Okay.
be able, you see, we currently have, let's say, we currently have a big puzzle here, and we're trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together so we can see the big picture here. Okay,
Right.
so it
Yeah.
is very important. It is very important that later on tonight, when we still gonna talk at 7, you guys, I'm
Oh,
gonna
we
need
still
you
have to
guys to.
talk tonight too. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
because tonight I'm gonna be emailing you folks tonight the non-disclosure agreement. I'm gonna need you folks to sign that and send that back to me. Do you folks have a scanner at home?
Uh, I'm not sure. We got a printer, I think, out in the office. I'm not sure
Okay,
if it
you got a printer.
scans.
Can you take pictures with your cell phone and send a text message with the document signed?
Yeah, I should be able to do that, no problem.
Okay, perfect. On the non-disclosure agreement, that document is going to be signed by me as the actual witness from Warwick Wallace International Law Firm, and it's going to be signed by Mr. Victor Dispenza from Consumer Affairs, stating
Okay.
of the whole non-disclosure. So we're gonna the document will be signed by us. So in order for me to be able to move forward with the investigation, I'm going to need you folks to sign that document and forward that back to me, please. So
Lucille,
we'll talk.
could you talk to our IT guy, Lucille, and see if we can get that taken care of?
Yeah, I'll try to do that this afternoon. I hope I can get a
By
hold of them.
IT guy, I mean Mikey. He's our resident nerd over here. Do you need him to sign that as well, since he's
No, no,
got
no.
some involvement?
Well, he has some involvement, but it's different. So right now, I just need because the document has been made out to Johnny Lee and Lucille Walker. So right
Okay.
now, I just need you folks to sign it, and I don't believe there's need of a tech guy. I mean, if you have a printer at home and you have access to the email, all you got to do is print out the page, you sign it, you take a picture with your cell phone, and I'm gonna be giving you my cell phone number. I believe Mrs. Walker, you should have my cell phone. I called you, I left you a voicemail the other day from my cell phone. But anyways, I'll give it to you
Wait
again
a
later
second.
on.
Can I check that? I want to make sure that I've got it. Hang on just 1 second, please.
Yeah,
It's
I
nine
was
two.
I was
No, it
kidding
looks like
about
it's
a
coming from
tech
your
guy.
cell phone. 646. That's your office number, sir.
That's my office number. My cell phone is 929.
Hold on.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
was
if
Nine
I
I
two
have
was
you.
I
nine
was kidding
three
about a
four
tech
one.
guy. That's what we call Mikey around here.
Oh, okay.
He's our
Mikey's the tech
he's our
guy.
tech guy. Yeah.
Okay,
Is
Mikey's
it
the
nine?
tech
Is
guy.
it okay? I want to verify this. I'm sorry. Is it 929-341?
That's correct. I think you texted me. Who's this? Right?
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm worried. We get strange calls.
Yeah. Sure.
Like you said.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, so that's my cell phone. All you gotta do is take a picture of that document and forward that back to me. So as soon as I have, let's do the following. Can I text you on your cell phone, Mrs. Walker? Can I send you text messages on your cell phone?
Me, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the following. As soon as I send the document to your email, I'll just send you a text message saying, "Hey, Mrs. Walker, the email should be in your inbox. Just check it out, print it, and whenever you get a chance, you sign it and take a picture and send it back to me, and we'll be talking around at 7 o'clock. Okay?"
All right. All right. Yeah,
Sounds
I'll get
good.
with that sounds fine.
Good, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. Remember, like I said, well, we don't know what's going to happen with the award. They're going to be having their board meeting today. They're going to give me a confirmation tomorrow about that, right? But the main thing is the following: either what happens with the award, if we're not able to get any information from the award thing, remember we're working on the recovery of the funds. That's the main goal here, trying to recover the funds.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's the most important if it can even be done. I
yes,
agree.
ma'am. Okay, so we're gonna move forward on that, and I'll keep you folks posted. Okay, that's all I wanted to share with you folks this afternoon because it was very important. This information was sent over around 11 o'clock, and they were very they were very worried. I mean, these people from American Direct Incorporated, they were explaining me. We try to get a hold of them. A lot of times, unfortunately, we are not allowed to call our winners because that's not the way it should be done. Because usually when they're called by somebody, it's usually the scammers. Usually, what they do is they send the letter through the mail. So now, since their database got hacked and their information from the letters were stolen, now the only way to send information to winners is they're only sending information via email. They're not even sending information to their winners via mail anymore because apparently the mailing the letters sent out through the mail, it's very risky. Those letters were being stolen a lot. Okay, so
Yeah.
they're going to be forwarding all that information. The letter that was issued in December, like I said, they're going to send me a copy of the check that was issued. I'm not able to share right now what is the exact amount of the award because I already know the amount of how much you were entitled to. But until the non-disclosure agreement is signed, I'm not able to share more information about it. Okay?
I understand. I appreciate you keeping us as up to date as you possibly can on this thing. Um,
Mhm.
that's shows that you're really doing your job over there. We really do appreciate it, don't we, sweetie?
Mr. Walker,
Yeah, yeah, you do.
believe me, I'm, I mean, I'm kind of upset a little bit, to be honest, with the situation because I feel hurt of what these people do to families. But in the other end, I'm happy because, like I explained to you the first time we talked, I'm a very successful attorney, and believe me, when something gets in my head, I do not stop until I accomplish what I have assigned myself to. So until I accomplish this goal, and then until I get this done, I will not stop. So we're
That
gonna go get to
sounds
the bottom.
that sounds like the way I was with these lingua tacos Lucille had gave us for lunch. I wasn't gonna stop till they were all gone.
You folks had tacos for lunch.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
did.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed them, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. I'm gonna let you folks go. Okay. We'll talk again around 7, and we're gonna be moving forward with this. All right.
All right, that sounds perfect.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
All right. I hope you
Thank
folks
you.
are having a wonderful day today, and everything's moving awesome at work. We'll talk later this afternoon.
You
Bye bye.
too. Talk to you later.
Thank.
Bye.
Bye.
Mr. and Mrs. Walker.
Hello.
Hello,
Yes.
hello, Mr. Wallace.
How was your working day today? Everything okay?
Yeah.
Busy as always. Busy time
Busy
of
as
year.
always.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
busier this time of year.
Okay. Well, now that I have you here, and I also have Mr. Walker. Mrs. Walker, remember I told
Mhm.
you to practice meditation. Also, you, Mr. Walker, is a good idea. And through our personal development programs, I ask couples to work through meditation. So you could have a little bit more you can be more present during your day and you won't be, stressed out. I know you folks got to be very busy people, work with a lot of clients. So having a peace of mind and having, being present, and being mindful during your day, it's very good. So Mrs. Walker mentioned to me she used to practice meditation before, but you folks should get back into meditation. I really suggest that. All right, that's just something I want to throw out, from my personal development program is what I do with all the
Right.
people who are
Mhm.
part of my personal development group.
What are
All
some of
right.
the
Now,
first
Mr. and
steps
Mrs. Walker.
to that? I mean, should I be counting to 10 and my eyes closed or
Well,
what?
Johnny, remember, I tried to get you to meditate, and you said you were not into this horse shit, and it kind of didn't
Well, I know,
really
but
pan out.
I'm open to anything, to relieve
Well,
stress.
great, great. Mr. and Mrs. Walker, a good thing in life is not focus in the past. Focus on the future decisions. Focus on what you have presently. If it's a time, if you haven't seen results with what you've done before in your life, and maybe you want to practice something different, meditation, it's focusing on whatever you have present. Let's say, for example, when you breathe. So if you focus on your breathe, you know what? I'm gonna send you folks a book. I'm gonna send you folks a book. It's a very, very nice book. It's a book I give out to every single people that work with me.
Right.
But
Okay.
I will find it and I will have it tomorrow. And I would like to give this book as a gift from me to you. And whenever you guys have a
Is
chance
it a
at
digital
night
book?
to read this
Is
book,
is it is it a digital
they
book that
all
we
it
can
could
read right
it could
away?
be a digital book. I can No, it's actually a physical book. I mean, I was gonna order it through Amazon and then maybe send it to your home. But also, if you want to find it digital, I could send you the name of the book. I wanted
Yeah.
to give you a gift from my end because I give
Oh,
this book away to everyone that starts working in my program. And listen, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, this book is so powerful. It's so wonderful, and it helps you through meditation. Let me see if I can find the name of the book here. Just please allow me 1 second here. I think I do have this book here on my cell phone because I also have the physical book and I also have the audio
mm.
book because I sometimes, when I'm getting kind of stressed out daily, I start
Well,
listening to this book
I have digital
in my
credits and
car.
on
The
Amazon,
name.
Amazon and Google Play. I've got digital credits, money on my account, so I could go buy it myself and try to get Johnny to,
Well,
Okay,
try
I
that's
again,
wonderful.
very quickly.
well I usually just watch porn to be
That's
honest with you.
wonderful.
Johnny.
I'm sorry. I'm just
Okay.
kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, half kidding.
It's okay.
But I mean,
It's
there's no better stress
Mr. and Mrs.
relief,
Walker.
right?
The name of the book, yes. The name of the book is "The Peace is Every Step." It's by Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm gonna text you the
Hold
name of
on.
the
Can I?
author
Oh,
to
yeah,
your cell
yeah.
phone.
Please text me everything. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I will
I was
send
gonna
you.
write
And
it all
maybe
down.
if you can have, it would be a good idea. I would love for you folks to participate in this together. And maybe when you
Mhm.
have a little bit of time at night before you go to sleep, maybe read a couple pages, maybe 2 to 3 pages, so you can
Mhm.
understand. It says, peace is every step. This is a path of mindfulness in everyday life. This is a wonderful book. On Google, they should have the audio book forwarded by the Dalai Lama. Okay, so you can find it. I'll text you all the
Okay.
information for you folks to review it. And believe me, you
I look
folks are
for
going
it
to
tonight.
be having a very positive impact on this book. Okay, now
Okay.
jumping back to the subject is okay. You have received the non-disclosure agreement, correct?
I just opened it a minute ago. I hadn't had a chance to print it out or nothing. Mikey will help me do that when he gets
Okay.
here after a while.
Okay. All you have to
Did
do,
you
Mr.
see
Walker, would be print.
did you see what he knows what to do with it. We just got home really late. Like I said, it's the extremely busy. the start of the extremely busy time of the season, and like I said, sometimes we work after dark. Mikey's working on that right now, but you said you wanted a copy of our driver's licenses, and I don't know if we're comfortable doing that because we gave a copy of our driver's license to the scammers. They used it for identity theft. We had to get new driver's licenses, and the FBI said, don't ever give your driver's license to anybody ever again. So we're kind of paranoid about that.
Oh, perfect, Mrs. Walker. If you don't feel comfortable, like I said, from my end, I want to be comfortable. I just want you to understand the following. From my end, as a law firm, I have a protocol that I need to follow when we're going through non-disclosure agreements. We're going to do the following. I'm not going to ask you for your IDs. I'm just going to forward the information like this, just with the document being signed. I do need the Social Security because it's requested on the document. Why? Because when we're going to be putting you to participate in the funds recovery program, we need to attach the information of each single person that was related to the transactions that were sent overseas. So when they're going to go through the records of sending these funds back, they're going to the person that is supposed to be collecting money to make sure that every single information does matches. But like I said, I want you folks to feel comfortable, all right? So if you currently don't feel comfortable, like I said, I mean, I have a protocol to follow. I'll forward the information. If in the future it's requested, I will let you folks know, and you folks handle it however you want to handle it, okay? As of this present moment, what do I need before I finish my shift for tonight? I want to have everything ready. I want to have this non-disclosure agreement, and I need for them to accept it tomorrow morning. The non-disclosure agreement will be approved and accepted, okay, which means that after I have an approval and an acceptance, I will be able to discuss information regarding the investigation and about what's going on with the Gaming Control Board and American Direct Incorporated. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in the morning, my time, I'm supposed to be receiving a report from American Direct Incorporated and the Gaming Control Board regarding the winnings, okay? They're going to give me all the information. As of this present moment, I'm not able to share information such as the winning amount.
Okay. All right, I can ask a question. Why do we have to sign an NDA to find out how much we won for a prize that's public information? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused about that.
Mrs. Walker, remember that this is not about the award remember that this is about an ongoing investigation that is taken care of by the Interpol. So the non-disclosure agreement is basically requested.
I understand that, sir. I do, because of all these criminal activities and all the criminals that are international. I understand that, but what's that got to do with the prize, though? We should be able to find out about the prize if there is one. I'm sorry. I don't want to get my hopes up. I'd rather just get it out of the way. I'd rather get it out of the way and find out there is or isn't a prize.
No problem. No problem, Ms. Walker. I'm here to answer any questions you might have to the best of my abilities. But that specific question you're asking me, it's a requirement directly by Consumer Affairs. We are not allowed to share information as of right now of any sort of pending payout from the award because this is what they are requesting. And remember that we are hired by them. So what they're specifically said that we cannot share any information regarding, because you have to use a little bit of logic here. The award is one thing and the investigation is another thing. But if you think about
I said that.
They're both connected. They're both connected because remember that your information was stolen from American Direct Incorporated. Their database was hacked. So that's pretty much how they got access to your information and they started calling you. So one way or another, the award and both connected, right?
Well, what does that have to do with us getting our prize, though? Shouldn't we have still won?
Yeah, if we're winners, that
whether they stole it or not, we still won,
or
right?
they stole the letter. Yeah, whether they were trying to rip us off or not, and they're the ones that screwed this up. But once they find out who we are, they should be like, okay, well, here's what's happening. And I don't understand. I'm sorry. We've been through so much. You've got to understand how we feel and what's going on with us after everything we've been through.
So
Mrs.
this,
Mr. and Mrs. Walker, believe me, I'm on your side. I'm on your side here. Okay, and I want to remind you the following. Okay, according, and I will be able to explain a little bit of more of this information tomorrow. According to the report of the date that you folks were selected as a winner, this happened on December 18, 2023. Okay, so when the information was sent out, the letters and all the whole information was hacked. So American Direct Incorporated is not in a position to get in contact with you folks. They just can't, because the only way they were able to do this was by sending you the notification letter that you folks never
Right.
received. Okay, so
But they sold. Yeah, or somebody
as
stole it. I
of
don't
this
know who
present
stole
moment,
it.
this is what
Who
exactly now.
stole it?
From the deadline, the check that was issued back in December, that check expired, ma'am. It's valid for 90 days. So,
Okay.
according to what they mentioned to me, that price, the award prize is in a disqualification process. Now, uh, what they mentioned today was the following: they were going to have a board meeting to see if there's any possibilities of doing something. And that's why I mentioned to you folks, I don't want to bring false expectations to the table, because that is something I currently don't know. I will know until tomorrow if American Direct Incorporated was able to do anything about the award, to see if you folks can still collect it. But like I said before, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, I'm not here to answer questions I don't know. I'm giving you folks the information I have in my desk right now, which is what was given to me. Okay, Consumer Affairs did accept it and authorized me continuing with the investigation, which means there is a non-disclosure agreement that needs to be signed by you or another. Remember, either you collect an award or not. Let's say tomorrow they call and they say, well, listen, it's too late. There's nothing we can do. The disqualification process has been already authorized for a disqualification because it's too late. We still have to work on the recovery of the funds, right?
Right,
So
right.
we
I
still need
understand
this
that. So if we sign the
non-disclosed
NDAs
agreement.
tonight and get them over to you, if we sign the NDAs tonight and get them over to you, you can find out tomorrow for sure if there was a prize. You can do that.
I mean, listen, Mrs. Walker, you have to understand something. There was always a price. There was an actual price. The
Well, how
problem
much
is
it was,
that the
I guess.
time frame, I'm
well,
not
we
able to
didn't
share
know
that
that.
information right now.
Yeah, we didn't know that there
Okay?
was a
I'm not
prize.
able to share any sort of information amount.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, it's since December till May 1st, it's been already more than 90 days. So that has already expired. When these awards expired and they're not able to get a hold of the actual winner, the procedure goes through a disqualification, and the funds are donated to a government charity foundation. Now,
Oh,
according to what they said today, yesterday they said they're gonna see if there's a possibility to reverse this, to see if you folks can still receive it. But I don't have an answer about that until tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. I should be receiving a report about that. That's the reason I wanted to ask you folks the following.
okay.
I don't know what is your schedule for tomorrow, but is there a possibility for you folks to postpone any sort of schedule you have for noon after 12, so we can get all the information, and I 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time?
I'm
That would
sorry.
be
Are
nine
you
o'clock
breaking
your
up? I
time.
can't.
Yeah, your
I didn't
phone is
hear. I didn't
breaking
get.
up.
I can't hear you. I couldn't hear
Can you
anything
hear
you
me better
said.
now?
Yeah, a
A
little
little
bit.
bit,
Can you
It
hear
was
yeah.
me better
just,
now?
yeah, it was just
Yeah.
breaking up in the middle of
Um.
you talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's because I'm on a cell phone and I'm having problems with my office phone. And remember,
Right.
I'm in a big building here at One World Trade Center, so there might be a little bit of static. So, what I'm asking is the following, Mr. and Mrs. Walker:
Hmm.
is there a possibility? I know you folks are busy and have a lot of clients. Possibility for you folks to postpone any sort of meeting or anything you have scheduled for tomorrow morning
I
to
can
be done
try.
after 12 noon?
I'm
Is
supposed
that
to
possible?
deliver.
Because
I'm supposed to deliver some
okay, I
horses
would like you
tomorrow.
folks to.
Yeah, he's already
You're
made a
supposed to
commitment in the
deliver some
morning,
horses.
Johnny
Okay,
has. Yeah. And we
okay.
can't. And
Well,
they've already paid, so
John,
we have to
because
pay.
I
We have to
rather
give
have a
them.
I think there's
Okay, no
I
problem.
think there's a
Now, how
delay
long will it
between
take?
us talking and you talking.
Yeah, I'm having a real hard time hearing you, sir. I
Okay.
never did before.
Is this a different? This the same
Yeah, because
number
this is
we've
It's
my
his
been
cell
talking
phone,
on?
honey.
this is my
It's his cell phone.
Oh,
It's not his
okay,
office phone, honey. That's
okay.
why.
Well, that explains it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do the following. What time you have to process your delivery tomorrow morning, Mr. Walker?
We have to leave early in the morning, about 4:30, and we won't be back till tomorrow evening.
Okay.
We're
And what
going.
time you think you should be done with that delivery?
Well, there's
I,
several deliveries. It's not just one
yeah,
delivery. I
I'll
mean,
probably be
we've
back
been.
about this same time, but tomorrow. But that's
Same
pretty
time today.
late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you what do you folks come home to lunch like you did today?
No, I'm
Not
going
always.
about
No.
2 states away. We're delivering these horses to Arkansas, so
Oh,
it's a long drive
These people.
before.
These people have already paid. A good chunk of money for these horses, and we have to. We have to make the deliveries. We can't back out.
okay. Well, I don't want to mess up your schedule, and I don't want to mess up anything you guys have to do. I just want to make sure I get in contact with you, and I can give you folks this early report regarding this award situation because they did stated that they will have a report for me tomorrow at 9 a.m. your time in the
Well,
morning. That would be
Johnny,
10 a.m. my
Johnny, you
time.
know what?
Uh,
I know this is going to be hard on you, Johnny, but I could stay home and I could talk to Mr. Wallace and you could take Mikey with you. I know he was supposed to do something else, but we could rearrange some things so I could be here, but we both can't be here at the same time, Mr. Wallace.
Well, I was going to take Mikey with me anyways.
I understand, but okay, but Mr. and Mrs. Walker, I would prefer to have both of you available to talk about this because both of your names are related in this prize situation, right? It's not only one person. So
Right, I know, but you
let's
can't
do
just give me
something.
the information. I mean, we could rearrange everything. I know that it's important, and you said it was important, so I could stay home, and talk to you in the morning, and then maybe drive out to meet you, Johnny. I don't know, something like that. Because other than that, if we don't do that, it's going to be this time tomorrow night before we talk to you again, Mr. Wallace. And you said you really wanted to talk to us, so I was trying to, accommodate you.
Well, I mean, we done
Yeah,
lost our
I
money.
like.
It can wait.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, let's do the following. Why don't we'll talk tomorrow morning. I will be in my office at 8 o'clock in the morning time. I don't
Thank you, broke
know
up,
if
sir.
we should talk
You,
anytime around.
you're breaking up, sir. I'm sorry. Can you hear him, honey? I can't hear
I
him.
can barely hear him.
Okay.
Is the
Let
office
me see.
phone not working?
Let me see if I
No, apparently not.
let me call. Let me see if my office phone is working. Let me see if my office phone is working now. Okay.
All right. Well,
Well,
I
just
can try to
I
call
mean
you
that's all
on it.
right. Yeah, let's try and call him back on that phone because I need to know if I need to stay home tomorrow because it's important. Oh,
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I was already scheduled these horse delivery. I don't want to tell people we're not going to make it when they've been
no.
expecting us.
Yeah, phone's working now. Is this better now?
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot better.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Great. Yeah, it's because since I'm in such a big building, I think if I'm not wrong, I mean this should be what 86th floor if I'm not wrong. So I'm right on the top. So there's a lot of static and there's a lot of offices around me. So sometimes reception it's pretty bad on the cell phone. So
Right.
Do
no,
you want me to stay home
Mr. Mrs.
tomorrow, Mr. Wallace? Because that's the only way this is going to work. So you want me to stay home in the morning at least?
Well, That would be fine. So as soon as I get a report from them, I can just go ahead and forward the information for you from you directly, and let you know what's going on with this situation about the award, if they were even able to do anything at all, and at least we can take that off your mind. Whatever they say, I mean, if they say, well, no, I mean, there's
Mhm.
nothing we could do. At least I could let you know, Mrs. Walker. Unfortunately, it's too late. Or otherwise, if there's any options available, I can also let you know to see if there's anything we could start doing tomorrow, Friday, and get this initiated. But like I said, we'll know this tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah, well, that'll give us
All
I'm
right.
time
sorry,
to
honey. You'll
read
have
this
to.
NDA and find out
Yeah.
what it's all about.
I'm
Yes,
sorry, honey.
take your time
And
to read it. Take your time to read it. It's just, a normal, regular non-disclosure agreement. You could go ahead and take your time to read it. As soon as you get that done, I will be here in the office for maybe another hour, and I'll be waiting for that document because I want to send this out, and they have it early in the morning tomorrow. So as soon as they open their offices tomorrow and they look into it, they'll have that signed over. Like I said, remember, you're not the only one signing the document. If you see, my signature is also there, and my law firm's information is there, and also Mr. Victor Dispensa's information and signature is also there as well. Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
we'll look it over.
All right, Mrs. Walker. Listen, I'm gonna text you right now the name of the book so you can review it. If you want to buy an audio book or you want to buy a digital copy, however you prefer, just please make sure you buy it, and please make sure you folks take time to read it a little bit before you go to sleep, and you'll know a little bit more about meditation. The book gives you a lot of breathing exercise and how to meditate. Okay.
What did you say the
Okay.
author's name was? Hung Low or something like that?
The Yeah, the author
I
name is
didn't write
because
it down,
he's
honey.
actually Indian. Let me get the name of the author is Thich Nhat Hanh. It's spelled
Oh,
Phich,
I thought you said
and the
thick and hung. I was like, that sounds like one of them porn stars I was talking about.
Honey. Honey.
Sorry, Lucille. I had to say that.
Hmm. Hmm. We'll
But
talk
yeah,
Okay,
later. Yeah.
I'll
you're
read it.
you're a funny man, Mr. Walker. You're a funny man. Um, okay, so let me text you the information from the book, ma'am. If you have a chance, just go ahead and get that digital copy today, and start doing some reading tonight. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds
All
great.
right. And I
All
will
right.
look forward to
I'll
your
speak
call
to
tomorrow, or sometime tomorrow.
I'll sp-
After
yeah, I'll speak to you tomorrow. I'll be here in the office at 8 a.m. Can I call you at 8 a.m. when I get here to let you know where we're standing?
at 7 a.m. No, I probably won't be
Seven.
available at 7 a.m. my
Okay.
time. That's kind of
All right.
early.
That's kind of early. Okay, so
I have
let's
to do
keep it for
chores.
nine
Well,
o'clock.
if I'm going to stay here, I'm going to help with the chores that we usually do. That we have help, but I mean, I'm not going to sit on my butt. I'm going to sip coffee. I'm going to be out there, taking care of the horses and stuff. So, maybe, no, 9 o'clock. Oh, gosh, I don't know. If I miss your call, I'll
Nine
call you
o'clock.
back.
9 o'clock. Let's do the following, Mrs. Walker. I'll leave you a voicemail at 9 o'clock as soon as I get the report. 9 o'clock your time, and I'll just wait for your call back. Okay?
Okay, that works. That works.
Sounds great.
Because I'm usually
Okay.
not supposed to be here, especially on Fridays. But all right, that's fine.
All
All
right.
right.
Perfect, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. Talk to you tomorrow, Lucille. Bye bye.
All right.
Okay,
We'll
thank
talk to you
you.
later, buddy.
Bye
Okay.
Bye.
bye.
Don't forget to send me the non-disclosure agreement. Okay?
All right. We're just waiting on him to get
Yeah.
them printed out. So each of us signs one of these, right? There's not. I don't see two
Yes.
signature places on here.
No, you could just put your signature next to Mrs. Walker's signature.
Oh, so we can sign the
Oh,
same
so
one
use one
then?
form?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, just use one form. Yeah.
All righty. That sounds good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay.
Talk to you
Because
tomorrow
if you
then.
see on the top of the form, if you see on the top of the form, it says Johnny Lee and Lucille Walker. So both of your names is there on one
Oh,
form.
okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You didn't put her
Talk
middle
to you
name
tomorrow.
in
Have a
there
great
though.
evening.
Does you need to have her middle
It's
name in
the
there, or does that matter?
It
hmm,
doesn't really
let
matter if
me.
they didn't send the report up like that.
Okay. All right. Sorry. All
Okay.
right. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow then, buddy.
Okay, perfect. So
All
bye.
right. Good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Nice.
Mr. Walker?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
1 second, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. I'm just here and floor. Just let me finish this call real quick. One moment.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have the paralegals and everybody's ready. So as soon as you have the affidavit, we did receive the copy of the indictment, and we did showed up as well the copy for the affidavit. So yes, as soon as we get a confirmation for that, we'll go ahead and send over the report. Okay? Yes, sir. Yes, we will. Not a problem. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Not a problem. Have a great day. Mr. and Mrs. Walker, let me go back to my office real quick, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
One, hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
I
Thank you
was
for
just
holding.
making
Yeah.
sure it didn't get hung up.
I'm sorry. No, just one moment. Sophia, could you please make sure you fax in this documentation to the visa people? Yes, and make sure that Josh signs it and gives us full authorization for him to take over the case. Thank you. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. Mr. Walker, how was your day at work? You went to Arkansas yesterday? Is that what? Or
No, we
today?
uh, we uh, we went to deliver to a couple of people, but the ones in Arkansas, uh, they uh, they kind of fell through on. They didn't want us to come today, so that's why I got home early.
Okay, great. And what happened with your horse, Mrs. Walker? Is he okay? I mean, with the vet situation?
Well, the vet's still here. He brought the X-ray machine. They X-rayed his right leg, and there's apparently something going on underneath his horseshoe. So there's no broken bones. We don't think so. But I've been a nervous wreck. He's my baby. I love that horse. So
Oh, really?
um, mm,
He's your preferred one. Okay.
yeah,
Right.
well,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. She don't
Mr.
even
and Mrs.
call the vet
Walker.
whenever I sprain my ankle. So you know.
Oh, yeah?
Well, you know
Right.
I love Trigger. You know that, Johnny. You
I
know I
know.
love Trigger.
All right. Mr. and Mrs. Walker, okay, it's time for us to discuss some information. I did forward the email information to Mr. Walker, and I also forwarded it to your email, the one you sent me, Lucille Walker 320 at Gmail. Did you folks receive that
Mhm.
information? Do you have it on hand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's here on the laptop. We can look at it if we need to.
Okay. All right,
Mhm.
perfect. Now, this information was properly forwarded directly from American Direct Incorporated. Now, let me just pull up your file here on my computer so I can have same information as you have. Okay, it clearly specifies there that all the documentation has officially expired. As you may review here, okay, we have a first letter that was sent. This is the letter that was hacked from American Direct Incorporated, as well as their database. While I was looking through all the information you sent me, Mr. Walker, I was able
Yeah.
to identify that this initiated back in January, not in February, because I
Right.
was looking
I
into it.
saw that.
Yeah, I was looking into a transaction you did in January. And my question is, do you remember if this initiated in January or did it initiate it in December?
It's been going on for
Uh,
so long. My God, even heaven, it's been going on forever.
we were
Feels
getting
like it.
calls. Yeah, we were getting calls all the way back through to December probably, but it was in January before we ever really tried to make a payment to these people.
Okay, because if you see the letter from, and also I want you to see something else, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. The difference between a legitimate document compared to the ones you send me that these people send you, even the check. I mean, it looks like they did that on paint, with their computer. It doesn't even look legit compared to the
Right.
documentation that you currently have, and you can see on the bottom it has a proper signature from Mrs. Bree Smith, which is the senior vice president. Okay, on December 18, they were notifying you with the case number 22061347 28 GOV, Johnny and Lucille Walker, Richardson, Texas, right? They were informing you the total award prize is $280 million. This is a grand prize winning balance. You were supposed to get in contact with them to go ahead and run over the procedure for registration, which is the proper requirement from the Bank Secrecy Act in conjunction with National Gaming Control Board and Consumer Affairs. So this letter, this information was stolen. So we believe that these scammers, they thought that you folks might have already collected these award funds. So that's why they knew information from you folks. They initiated, telling you about different awards, maybe try to, get something, which is basically what they did. Now,
Yeah.
in the other letter, we have an expiration registration. Okay, this is what you folks need to understand regarding sweepstakes. Sweepstakes and lotteries are totally different, as I did explain to you folks since day one when we spoke. When you win a sweepstakes, you don't pay taxes. That is the reason there is a requirement for registration from the actual owners of the check. This certificate of registration, if you clearly read on the bottom, it says this registration certificate has expired and is no longer valid for life since the award winner never collected the prize. Now, what is a certificate of registration? Is basically stating that you, Johnny Lee and Lucille Walker, are registered and listed as the following winnings check owner from code number 322141. 322141. Now, if we go to the check and we validate the information on the check, we are able to see the check code number, which is 322141, which tells us effectively, I'm just telling you folks this information for you folks to be able to spot documents and information that is not legitimate, because if everything is legitimate, everything should match all the information that is being said here, right? Now,
Right.
on April 18, they said this check copy has expired and is no longer valid. If you wish to reissue a new check, you will be responsible to cover administrative fees for check reissuance before April 18, 2024. Okay, we've gone over that date. We've gone over that date. Okay, perfect. Now, what is currently going on with the funds? Where are the funds right now with this $280 million? This $280 million is in a final stage procedure to be donated to a government organization. How does this work? Let me explain you folks how this works.
All right.
In
Explain
order
it.
in order for a government organization to go ahead and get a hold of these funds, they will be responsible to go through all the legal requirements, which is this is what's going on. They're responsible to cover the registration of the funds, okay, and they're also responsible to cover the holding fees, and they're responsible to cover the administrative fees in order to be able to reissue this check. Now, they're in the final stage of doing this. According to what American Direct, what Mrs. Bree Smith explained to me, is that this government organization they have already taken care of the registration, and they have taken care of the check a check reissuance. Okay. Now, what is basically the negotiations they're willing to do here? Okay, they're willing to negotiate with you folks if you folks would like to accept this price. What they're basically stating is that they're willing to make themselves responsible for the registration and for the holding fees. So, since December 28th till today, that's 138 days. I mean, December 18th till today, it's 138 days. There's a $2,800 holding fee that it's accumulated by the escrow that holds the funds. So, they're willing to go ahead and cover, which sums up to $386,400. They're willing to take care of that, and they're also willing to take care of the registration process, which would be the $1,487,000. Now, what do you folks will be responsible of doing? They said they're willing to help you folks if you folks are willing to handle the administrative fee to reissue the check and the insurance. Both of those things sums up to it's um, administrative fee to reissue the check. Okay, we're talking that would be $473,000. Okay, plus the insurance that is requested in order to have this officially shipped will equal $840,000. Okay, so this is what American Direct is explaining to me, and that they're willing to help us, but like what they're saying is the following: they don't have much time because this government organization has already initiated the procedure to collect the funds. But they said there's not a problem. They can go ahead and reverse everything out. They could go ahead and get a check reissued, but you will have, like they said, they're not responsible for the administrative fee, neither for the insurance. What they will make themselves responsible for
How are
will be
we
for.
supposed to how are we supposed to go about paying that? Do we pay them directly?
No, well, that goes to directly to their accounts receivable, sir. The accounts receivable in charge of receiving the funds.
So do I need
But
to, we
listen,
need to call
the,
Bree and set this up?
well, I mean, as of this present moment, I mean, Bree has forwarded all the information to me. If you want to get in contact with the people from American Direct Incorporated, the letter has their contact information. So you may feel free to call them. From my understanding, well, Bree is the vice president of the company, which means she's very very busy. Which means, as she told me, you might not be able to get a hold of her. You will have to schedule a meeting, and it's going to take a little bit of time. But if that's the case, they can go ahead and do that. They have forwarded all the information to me in order to get a new check reissued. Now, the way to handle this, it's two steps. I mean, you don't have to do everything at once. The first step that needs to be done, it's reissuing the check. We need to initiate the reissuance of the check. As soon as they have a new check reissued, I did request that Bree Smith is if Mr. and Mrs. Walker agree to do this. First off, they'll have to do the check reissuance. As soon as they have the check reissued, I want them to send me a copy of that check so I can review it. Okay, we can review the check. They said, yeah, not a problem. We're willing to send you the copy of the new check reissued and as well of a new certificate of registration for 2024, which is what we will take care of. That's them over there in American Direct. As soon as the check is reissued, we will have to go by the insurance because without an insurance, this amount of money cannot cross one state to another. That is impossible. It's too much funds. It's $280 million. Okay? So this is where we're standing right now. I do have the accounts receivable for United One Management. Now, my question is the following here, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. How would you folks would like to handle this? Because since you've already had an experience before in your financial institution and all of that, so I'm a little bit concerned on that part. If you guys would want to proceed with this,
All right. Well, I bet you are. I mean, that's about the only way that we could send that amount of money over is through the bank. I don't have. I wouldn't want to send it all in cash. I mean, even though that
no,
is
and
an
it's a matter of fact.
option.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Walker, and I'm sorry to cut you off. Sending cash, that's a way for you to spot that's a red flag right there. Because when you're doing a legitimate procedure, this legitimate procedure is handled through a bank-to-bank wire transfer. So
That's right.
this okay. Now another thing I want to mention: the wire transfer, where the funds have to be wired, is going to be a local LLC United States account. We're not talking about an account that is in another country or in Japan or anything like
Car
that. No,
lot.
everything. I'm sorry.
So you're not wanting me to send it to a car lot in Japan? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what I'm trying to say, sir. I'm just trying to say this for you to be able to
All right.
recognize how different it is for you to deal
through a legitimate procedure. Now,
I
what I can
appreciate
do
it.
yeah, now what I can do is the following. I can email you right now the accounting information for you to run over and get the wire processed, okay, and
Okay.
initiate the reissuance of the check. All right, so let me go ahead and get this information sent. What time does your bank close, Mr. Walker?
They don't close for another 3 hours or so.
Okay, and how far will the bank be from your home?
30 minutes.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty close by. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Walker, listen. Let me get this information ready. Let me get everything confirmed, and you're gonna be there in the next 5-10 minutes. I can call you back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. Let me get this information ready. Um, my God, I've had so much things to do today, and I have an ongoing case with this visa. We have some clients that had get a lot of chargebacks of this
Yeah.
big corporation. So
Sounds like you're
I've been just,
busy.
yes, my head's been going back and forth, and I was expecting Mrs. Walker to call me. Let's do the following. Um, let me make a quick phone call I have to make first because I need to sign some papers and get this done. This is gonna take me maybe anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll call you right back. Okay?
All right. There was
Okay.
I had a question if you don't mind before you
Yeah.
go.
Yes, sir. Go
When this
ahead.
is all, when this is done, is there any way we could come to your office there and look out over the New York skyline? Because I know it's a beautiful view from where you're at.
Mr. Walker, I'll tell you what, okay, because this is what Consumer Affairs is stating, and this is something I wanted to talk to you about later. But what Consumer Affairs is stating is the following: if this procedure does take place and you folks agree to reissue the check and take care of the insurance, I will be the person responsible to fly to your location and to meet you to represent you at the financial institution to get the check cashed. So
Perfect.
what we could do is the following: I could fly over there, we could get this cashed, and if you folks want to come back with me to New York, well, be my guest. Sounds like a plan?
Well, yeah, we were talking
Okay.
about a second honeymoon and everything, so
Oh,
maybe we can work all that details out. Don't tell Lucille about it, okay?
I'm right
okay.
here.
I know, sweetie, I'm just playing.
Oh
She's
my
got a
God.
lot of horse things on her mind right now. Her baby's uh,
I
out
I
there
know
being
I know
worked
she got
on, so
Mr. and Mrs. Walker. And quick question: what about the book? Did you had a chance to read the book a little bit yesterday evening?
It was an audio book, and I was so tired, and so was Johnny, that we just went straight to bed. But I've got the audio book.
Okay, just remember to listen because it's wonderful. Because I wanna remember. I wanna ask you a little bit of questions about it to see if you're putting into practice what the book is telling you. Remember, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. Besides an attorney, I'm a personal development professional. Okay, so I don't want to end our relationship with me just helping you folks with this check situation, with the investigation. No, I want to be able to have a relationship where I can, if you guys have a doubt of something, or maybe something's not going okay, and maybe you need a little bit of advice of what you should do. Well, I would like you folks to keep my number. You have my cell phone. You can send me a text message. Hey, Mr. Wallace, we're going through just certain things, and I'm not going to go into deep, personal details, but I'm very sure that I will have maybe an exercise or maybe a method that could help you guys to just get peace of mind and clarity and be mindful in the present moment. So that's my goal. I just want to be able to keep a relationship and maybe build a long-term relationship for the future. Okay?
I appreciate that. And if you get a call you don't recognize, it might. I actually mentioned to Mikey about maybe you could talk to him about his girlfriends sometime. So if you get a call, that might be him. So don't be mad at me.
Okay.
I didn't want to share it without asking, but I told him don't call unless I talk to you first. So just
Okay,
so you
not a
know.
problem. Well, let's go step by step. Oh, one
Right.
second. I have my secretary's on the other line. Let me put you on hold for one moment, real quick,
No,
okay? One
okay.
sec. Mr. and Mrs. Walker, I'm sorry. Well, my secretary already took care of what I had to do, so I have time right now to go ahead and send over the information. Now, before I get this sent out, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, one thing we need to get along because right now, remember your bank has already, a red flag maybe because of the transactions you've done before. Okay, and remember
Yeah.
we have already signed a non-disclosure agreement, which means we're not allowed to share any information, neither from the award or neither from the investigation. Okay, that is not legal, and we could be facing, legal situations if
Right.
if this information is disclosed. So my question is the following: when you process this transaction for $473,000 for check reissuance, what would be something you would tell the bank? Would you like to tell them that maybe you guys have a partner from your ranch that had is getting a sales from commissions, or what would be something you would tell your bank?
What do you think, sweetie?
I don't know. I mean, the scammers told
I
us, to say something else, and I didn't know what to say when they said that.
Well,
I
I
don't know
would
which
say we
side it
probably
was.
just tell them that we're going to invest in a property, and if you can tell me what state this is going to, then that would give me a little better, idea of what I could tell them.
Okay. All right. Remember, everything is going to be verified and monitored, all by the accounts and the accounts receivable that are being held by Department of Consumer Affairs. So let me get the information here from the account first, so we could go ahead and discuss about this. Okay. Let me just one
You be
second.
able to text that over to Lucille's phone, or you gonna have to email that over?
No, I'm gonna email it right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just give me one second while I have you folks on the line, so I can
Mhm.
have this in. Okay. All right. Okay. This would be in Florida, Panama City Beach, Florida. Okay. This would be United One Management LLC. Okay. At 258 South Arnold Road, Suite 211, Panama City Beach, Florida. Okay. If what if because I don't want, if you tell them that you're going to be investing in a property, I don't want the bank trying to get, also might be asking, oh, where's the documentation from the property, right?
Well, they don't usually ask me to provide documents for them. I mean, it's kind of our own business what we spend our money on. I haven't had that happen to me, but
Okay, all right. Well, not a problem. I'm putting in the information. Just bear with me on the line while I have this information because my secretary is busy with some other things right now, and I'm gonna be handling this. So let me just put in the information on the email address. Well, you know what? I think it will be faster if I text it, right?
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. One
'Cause I'd
second.
like to go ahead and head down there and get this done without trying to rush.
Okay, no problem. Let me go ahead. One information. Okay. All right. Let me write down the text, and I'll call you folks back to confirm if you receive it. Okay.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you in a little. I'll talk to you later then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye,
Bye.
Mr. Walker.
Hey, sorry I missed your call. We were talking. Um, she got the text.
Okay. I just want to review the information. Okay. Are you there,
Okay.
Mrs. Walker?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, perfect. So you have bank wire information. The bank name is Bank of America. The account holder
Mhm.
is United LC. This account is being monitored and verified by Department of Consumer Affairs. Okay, so that's how we can get full guaranteed and full coverage that these funds are going to be used for the right purpose, and there is no possible ways that the funds can go somewhere else. So this account is monitored by them. That this is the address 258-211 Panama City Beach,
Mhm.
Florida, zip code 32413. The phone number 78669. The account number is 89609, and the routing number will be 026 009 593. Is that the correct same information you have there?
I see it here.
Okay, perfect. The transaction for check reissuance would be $473,000.
$473,000. Okay.
Correct. Correct. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, I want to be very honest with you folks. I haven't even had breakfast today. I've been in the office since early morning to try to talk to everyone and get all the information needed. I was planning on going out and grabbing myself a little bit of, getting something to eat. So in the meantime, while you folks go ahead and take care of that, and if you're done, but you can just either call my cell phone, and also I'm gonna need a copy of the receipt the bank is gonna hand you. Okay, they hand you a receipt when they do wires. You folks know that, right?
Right.
Okay, perfect. So just take a copy of the receipt and send it to my text message, and I'll forward over the information. How long will you folks might think that this could take?
We'll be back by 4 o'clock probably. We haven't eaten either, so we'll go get us something to eat when we go into town to take care of this. Have you been
Oh,
reading your
okay.
book? Because you need to take a little time for yourself to have a meal every day, sir. I don't want you over there starving to death trying to take care of this business.
Well, it's because it's not only this particular business. I have a list, and it's a matter of fact. Believe me, what you're telling me right now, I can tell it's a voice from God that is talking to me. That I should also pay attention to my inside. It's just that
You
I
should.
I like to bring results to my clients. You see, I'm very punctual. I'm very into what I do. So I haven't focused on me lately. I've just been focusing on work and everything. But I really think this weekend I might go somewhere to just relax and clear my mind and meditate a little bit. I really think I'm going to be doing that. Okay,
Right,
so
right.
I do appreciate you telling me, Mr. and
Uh,
Mrs. Walker. Before I let you folks go, is there any questions, any concerns, anything you guys might have in mind that would like to tell me right now before we get this done?
uh, well, not at this time. Maybe when we talk again, if we have any questions, we'll just talk to you then about it. Is that okay?
Not a problem. Just remember that, okay, the first process would be to get the check reissued. And as soon as we get the check reissued, we'll have to go ahead and take care of the insurance process.
All
As soon
right.
as we get as soon as we get full insurance coverage, the check will be forwarded to me, okay? And when the check is forwarded to me, I will call you folks to schedule the time and date of my arrival over there in Texas. Is that
Uh,
understood?
all right. Well, with this 400,000, I thought it was supposed to be 1,400,000 and something thousand. Are we just paying for part of that fee?
No, it's because you didn't really understand. Let me explain to you one more time, Mr. Walker. The total balance that has to be covered, it rounds up to the 1% of the price, which is basically what's been collected. Okay, so basically
Yeah.
we have a balance of $1,487,000. This is for the registration. Now they're not going to
Mhm.
charge you folks the registration because either way they still have to refund it back. So what American Direct said, listen, we're going to help them with the registration. They don't have to cover that. And the holding fees for 138 days, which rounds up to $386,400, we're not going to charge that either. We're going to take care of that. So that rounds up to a total of 1,873,400. The remaining balance of 1,487,000 is $473,000 for the check reissuance administrative fee and $840,000 for insurance. I mean, and this totals up to 1,113,000.
Okay. Yeah. Every bit of that just went over my head. That's a bunch of lawyer talk. Um.
Yeah.
All right. I'll
Okay.
just ask you later if there's a problem. Okay.
Okay, not a problem. Just make sure when you do the wires, because I mean I don't know what time your bank closes. Usually bank closes anytime around 4 o'clock. If I'm not
Yeah.
wrong, you have what 2 o'clock your time right now?
We're leaving as soon as we hang up on the phone with you.
Not a problem, Mr. Walker. So just remember, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, because I guess you're Ms. Walker, you're the one that has to authorize the wires. Just make sure you handle the bank situation, because if you they've never asked any questions or anything like that, and you know how to work that out with the bank, perfect. But if they do, you just tell them that it's for the investment property, as you said, and you folks know the people who you're working with. Okay.
Right. Yeah. We'll do
All
that.
right. Mr. Walker, I'm going to go grab myself some snack, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, and we'll talk later, okay?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye.
I'm not like that. I don't stab you in the back. Yes, now you got me, buddy. Now you got me.